Hey guys, it's Jen from beautyriotx, and today I thought we would do a best and worst of brand video. And I thought today we'd talk about ColourPop because ColourPop is one of my favorite brands. There's really not a ton from ColourPop that I don't like, but like any brand, there's always hits and misses. So I thought I would talk about some of my favorite stuff from them and some of my not favorite stuff from them. Let's do the favorites first. Some favorites I'm going to talk about are like favorites in general, and some will be like actual like favorite palettes or favorite colors of lipsticks or what have you. So I'll just kind of go through them and we'll talk about them together. All right, so the first favorite is a newer product. I didn't think I would love this as much as I love it, but I love it. This is the LITE Stix in the shade Starbright. This is, I think, their like lightest, most neutral shade. It's what dreams are made of. I can literally just put this on my finger and rub it. It doesn't mess up my foundation. It's like a powder in a stick form. It's the weirdest thing, but I'm in love with this formula. Up next are their Super Shock shadows. I literally have 100 of these. Incredible. Incredible, incredible, incredible. These were probably the first things I ever got from ColourPop. It's how, I think these were like their first products. These shades right here are Lightning Bug and Special Delivery. If you've never tried ColourPop Super Shock shadows, I mean, are you living under a rock? I'm going to write in the comments, I will list some of my favorite Super Shock shades, lip shades. I will list my favorite shades of certain things. I'll write lists of my favorites of things in case you're wondering. I'll leave lists there. Next are these two brushes. Now, I'm gonna make a contradictory statement later on, but just hear me out. These were free. Like when they first started dabbling in brushes, these were like, when you order this, you'll receive a free brush. This has no name. This has no name, but these were free. And these are some of my favorite brushes to this day. So we have this one that's like a packing kind of blending brush, which I didn't love the shape of brushes until I got this brush a few years ago. Again, can't tell you what kind of brush it is because it doesn't say. And then we have this one, which is what I use to pack down like jelly mutt shadows, or when I do a cut crease, I'll fill in the cut crease with concealer with this brush. I love this brush. It's awesome. Can't tell you what kind it is because it doesn't say. The next are their liners. They have every color you could possibly think of. Some of my favorites are Teaspoon. The color you see on here is the color you're gonna get. And it's the color that's going to show up in your waterline. They stay really well too. They're not like 8-hour liners. You do have to reapply. If you have really watery waterlines, this will not stay all day. I can probably get away with like the wateriness of my line. I feel like I can get away with like 2 or 3 hours before I need to reapply. That's fine for me. The next are their lip liners. Hands down, these are my favorite lip liners ever. They're as creamy as could be. This is the shade OhSnap. This is my go-to liner, like everyday liner. This is the My Lips But Better shade. But in general, these lip liners are the most comfortable you could ever get away with. It's not so creamy that it's going to like slide off your lips, but it's creamy enough that it's not going to pull and tug. The minute I feel that pull on my lip, I already know I'm not gonna like that liner. This liner doesn't do that. We'll just keep going with lips. I've said this in other videos. I love their LUX Lipsticks. Some of my favorite formulas, but my favorite nude from their LUX Lipsticks is the shade Tiptoe. It's a cream formula. I wish it was a matte, to be honest. I don't mind the cream. It's very comfortable. It's not like too shiny or anything like that, which I don't love on myself, but it's like it's a good finish. I wish it was like more of a satin or matte though. The next are my favorites from their Ultra Satin and Ultra Matte lines. And these are again more of like the nude shades. I have Alyssa and I have Sunnyside, which is what I'm wearing right now. Sunnyside is I think newer. I don't know if it's permanent. I'm not gonna swatch it because again, it's on my lip right now, but it's like the perfect nude, but it's like got a hint, a very, very, very tiny, tiny drop of beigey brown to it, which is what I like about it. Like it's not too peachy or pink. It's got enough of that brownie beige to it that doesn't make it too warm. I don't know how to describe it, but it's perfect. The next is Alyssa. This is my perfect pink lip color. Actually, now that I look at it, it's a little bit pinker than Tiptoe, which is maybe why I like it so much. Alyssa came before Tiptoe, which maybe that's why I like Tiptoe so much, because they're kind of the same lightness, but Tiptoe's a little more nude. It's perfect for my skin tone. I'm sure it looks good on all skin tones, but it's my favorite pink on me. The next is a lip gloss. My girl Allie sent it to me. She knows I hate lip gloss. I don't like lip gloss, I never wear it. She's like, you just have to take this. I'm gonna send it to you, just take it. I'm like, I don't want it. She's like, just take it. I took it. This is the most gorgeous lip gloss in the world. I don't know if it's still available. It's in the shade Shadow Man from the Disney collection. I don't know if it's gonna pick up all the gorgeous facets that are in this, but it's like this duochrome of coral, orange, green, gold. It's the most beautiful. I want my whole body to be this color. It's incredible. It's incredibly comfortable, and I mean the color is, stop it. All right, the next are this is just showing you the array of magic from the ColourPop lip line. I have one of their other satin lip shades and one of their extra matte Lippie sticks. Oh my God. This is so matte and so incredibly comfortable. The shade is, I think it's one of their newer ones, Infinite Best. It's their Matte X formula from their Lippie sticks. Holy God. These are so comfortable and so matte. If you love a matte lip, you need to try these. If you love a bright, comfortable satin lip and incredibly opaque and just, this is in the shade Kismet. It's like a highlighter. It's just heaven. It's heaven. God. It's really hard to go into describing detail when you're describing lip products because there's so much to say, but what can you say? If you've tried ColourPop lip products, then you know what I'm saying. And there's so many finishes and colors to choose from. It's overwhelming, but you have to try. It's just, they're incredible. Next, we're gonna talk about some Jelly Much shadows because these rocked my world. Again, Allie made me try them. She sent me Foxes. And my favorite shade of all time, the bottom one is Big Ego. And I changed my mind. I want my whole body that shade. I think it was from like the spring line, but these are so much fun to play with. You can mix them. You can use them on top of cut creases. You can use them without any bases. I have Photosynthesis and Foxes on top of my eyes today. They're magic. They're like paint for your eyes. All right, I have a few palettes and face products to talk about, and then we'll go on to fails. Let's talk about some of my favorite palettes. I love these. I love these. These are my favorites so far. The green, the honey, and the orange. I love that they come with glitter, most of them. The green doesn't come with glitter, but these two come with glitter. ColourPop shadows are some of the best shadows I've ever used. That includes high-end. You can't argue with it. They're so well made. They're so smooth and silky. You can't feel a ColourPop shadow and be like, oh, this isn't as good as I thought it was gonna be. They're as good as you think they're gonna be. The metallics, just stop. Come at me, bro. That's what I thought. And their mattes are the same. Some of my favorite, like, larger palettes are Through My Eyes, I'm sorry. Oh my God. This palette is everything I want in a palette. It's got those amazing teals and greens, the maroons, the yellow down here, the really pretty kind of champagne shade. Gorgeous. Again, Allie sent me Good Sport. Everything I want in a palette, same thing. Even the purples. Purples are really hard to get right. They got it right. And one of the best ever, Chasing Rainbows. Chasing mother effing rainbows. This one is gorgeous. This metallic shade right here, I love this for an inner corner highlight. Oh my God. Again, just make my whole body that color. I'm not even gonna get into it. I'm not gonna get into it. I'll list the video below. If you need to know more about these friggin' glitters, I'll list the video below. I'm not even gonna get into it. Their blushes are silky, smooth amazingness. They're eyeshadows, but bigger. So gorgeous, amazing. This is Rom-Com, this shade. It looks like it's gonna be kind of scary, but it's not, it's beautiful. It's like that pinky shade with a little bit of coralness to it. Oh, and these, they don't make these anymore, I'm so sad. these duos they used to come out with. I have like all of them. They came out with a blush and highlighter duo, or they used to have like bronzers and highlighters. So amazing. I'm wearing this blush today. It's not as scary as it looks. Some of my favorite things in the world. Again, don't know the name. They never wrote it on there, but these were the best. All right, that was it for the favorites. Let's get on to the fails. Okay, so for the rest of these, I don't have a ton of like, oh my God, these are the worst things ever. There are a few that I'm like, God, no. But most of them were like, nah, you don't need these. So my first one was the main Squeeze palette, which I was kind of shocked over because I love pink eyeshadow. I love it. But I felt like this palette, I felt like the shades just weren't different enough. There's not a super light shade in here. Let me show you. For instance, the orange palette, you know, has a super light orange. Like, I feel like this palette has enough variation in shade. I feel like this palette doesn't have that. Like, this is a really light metallic shade, but there's no really light matte. I feel like that was missing from here. Had they put that in, I feel like this would have been a little bit better because I like monochromatic looks using one palette. And I realize these are like more accent palettes. And I do use this, but I mean, I wish there would have been an extra like super light pink shade in here rather than all deep tones, because that's what I feel like these are. Very pretty palette though. All the shades are, you know, blendable, smooth, all the good things that ColourPop shadows are. I just wish there was more different tones and lightnesses in here. The blush Stix. This is in the shade Mic Drop. I don't like the formula for these at all. I think they blend out to be really patchy. It doesn't really look like it on my hand, but when I put it on my face, it like doesn't, I can't blend it with my finger, I can't blend it with a brush, like it just makes no sense, and I end up buffing away my foundation. So I think I'm gonna pass this on because I didn't like this at all. This is where the confliction came for me with their brushes. I don't like their white brushes. The free ones that I got with no names, I love. These I just don't see anything special about, I guess. They're really affordable and they're not bad. They're just like, you're not getting ripped off. They're really good prices. They're very, you know, well made. But again, like there's no names on these either. Why aren't there names? Were these like the first like wave of brushes? I don't remember. I have a few of them actually, and I don't like any of them. Like I have like 5 of their brushes and I don't like any of them. And I've used them all to like try to use them. I don't like any of them. I don't know why. Does anybody have a cup of brushes that just sit there and they never touch? That's what these are for me. They're just brushes I never reach for. The next is their no filter setting powder. I don't like this. ColourPop is known for giving you a lot for your money. Like they're very affordable, they're very conscious when it comes to getting what you pay for. I would expect this much powder to come in a setting powder from ColourPop for the money. But there is 0.3 ounces in here. And this is Wet n Wild. And this is 0.7 ounces. And this was $6. This was definitely not $6. Not only that, but this didn't do anything. Like, I mean, it was a setting powder, but I mean, it just wasn't anything. It kind of made my skin look dry and like patchy. Like it just made it look dry and cakey. I didn't like it. I don't like their powder highlighters. I think this is Here Kitty Kitty. Maybe this is the one that's not that bad. Okay, Here Kitty Kitty is actually okay. I'll write the 2 that I had that I actually got rid of because those formulas were horrible. They were really chunky and flaky almost. The colors were beautiful, but they almost like attached to every piece of texture I had on my skin. It was the weirdest thing. Here Kitty Kitty actually is fine. This is the only one I kept. But the other powder ones that I had, no. Their stick foundation. I don't hate this. I just don't love it. This shade is 67N. And I feel like this is a very off shade for me too. Like it's very, oh, that's what it is. It's incredibly, this turns orange on me. It's the weirdest thing. It's supposed to be neutral. No. And I remember contacting ColourPop about it, being like, did you guys, like, is this have the wrong sticker on it? Like this is yellow or orange. And they were like, oh, sorry, you're out of luck. And I thought it was so weird because ColourPop's usually very good about that. And they were just very like, sorry, oh well. I mean, I don't know. I guess I shouldn't have expected them to do anything, but they didn't do anything. And the last few products I'm going to put on the screen because I don't have them with me. So I will tell you what they are because I've gotten rid of them. The first is the No Filter Matte Foundation. I hated this foundation. It looked horrible on me. It clung to every dry patch. It just sat on my skin. It just looked horrible. I ordered 3 or 4 different shades. None of them matched. Like they all just had this weird undertone and it just looked horrible on me. Like it just looked horrible. The No Filter Matte Concealer. I didn't hate the concealer, but that was also just like, it's just a fine concealer. Like I just wasn't overly thrilled with it. It kind of just made my under eyes look dry. It was a really good covering concealer. I just didn't love the way it made my under eyes look. The next is their Super Shock Blush. I don't love the Super Shock formula on my face. I love it for my eyes for their Super Shock shadows. I don't love it for their blushes. And the last is the Supernova Liquid Metal Shadow. That was a huge fail. And I haven't tried their newer ones because I know they do have newer ones. I tried their first wave of them and those were the patchiest. When I would like tap them with a brush with my finger, there was no right way to put them on. Wherever I would pat it on, it would pick up what I just put down. There was just no right way to put it on. I couldn't figure it out. I ended up either giving them away or throwing them away, but I just remember I got 3 different shades and I couldn't make any of them work. So I was like, this is beyond user error. I just can't make, I just don't know what to do at this point. So yeah, that was it for me. Let me know what products from ColourPop worked for you, which ones didn't, what products do you love, which products do you not love. So if that was it, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I'll see you guys later. Bye.